I've been using water flossers like these for many years now, and while they do more or less work in the same way, there's some subtle differences that are important to know if you're thinking about buying these. The first thing to keep in mind are the head attachments. A lot of water flossers come with a variety of different attachments, and some, like this one, come with the same attachment but in different colors so you can share it with family members. Some water flossers have toothbrush attachments, or something like this where you've got rubber to force it in a certain spot. You've got one like this that has kind of a deflector shield. And then you've got kind of your normal ones like this, and some with rubber tips like this as well. I've tried them all, and for me personally, just the normal everyday one without the rubber tip works just fine. If you need more control or placement, you might want to consider something with a rubber tip. And depending on your family arrangement, you might want to get several of the same tips, but with different colors so you can swap them out for different family members. Another thing to be aware of is the different modes or speeds in which the water comes out. So for example, this one, it just has different speeds from low all the way to high. This one has different speeds, and it also has a pulsing mode. For me personally, whether it pulses or not doesn't really matter to me, but I do think it's very important to have low to high speeds, because if you've never used a water flosser before, it might actually be a little bit hard on your gums. So you'll probably want to start with a low speed and then work your way up higher if you need it. So having that option is important and something to look out for. Another thing to keep in mind is the reservoir. So something to be aware of with the reservoir, obviously the larger it is, the more bulky and awkward it can be, but also the more water you can put in, so the less you have to fill it up with. I find reservoirs about this size seem to work just fine. Now there are some water flossers that have kind of a detached reservoir that's extra big. And then you have water flossers like these where you can put it in whatever you want. So you could put it in like a gallon of milk and floss with milk, or something like that, probably water. But the other thing to be aware of with the reservoir is a lot of reservoirs can come off, and this is nice if you want to dry it out or clean it. A lot of reservoirs don't come out, so obviously it's much harder to dry. There's no real good way to clean it. So when you're looking to buy one, read the description carefully, see if the reservoir comes off or not, or if that's even important to you. The last thing I want to talk about is power. A lot of water flossers you plug into the wall. I only get battery operated ones, but with the battery operated ones, you need to know how does it charge. So this one comes with its own special plug, whereas this one you can plug into USB-C. So if you're anything like me and you lose cords all the time, but you have like a million USB-C cords, that's something to keep in mind. And this flosser can charge wirelessly like this, like you see with a lot of toothbrush. That's pretty cool as well. I hope this video helped. If you've never used a water flosser before, I highly recommend it. For me personally, it's much quicker and much more effective than your traditional flossing. And as a bonus, it doubles as a squirt gun.